Hello everyone, welcome to the post-mortem where we break down the game between Manchester United and Brighton in the FA Cup. Sully March sends it to Mars and Victor Lindelof sends us to victory. We are through to the final. We won 7-6 on penalties and we play Manchester City in a Manchester derby. Well, we'll probably get Charles Dickens, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that we're through, we've won, and fuck me lads, that was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've only just started breathing.
Like, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that because you've got 120 minutes to break down plus penalties. So you just like, I think the best place to start is how we felt going into it. I know we obviously did the preview yesterday, Sam. So I'll go to you, direct this towards you, Dave. How was you feeling going into it? Was you confident? Was you nervous?
Felt like we should get through. But Brighton are obviously a very good team. Like they play more like they're like a mid-table City, but without the freak of nature up front, right? They've always sort of struggled to underperform in like what you'd expect them to score, and you saw that again today. They were brilliant at playing out from like presses and like in the first phase of build-up. Like there's not many teams better than them in the world, and like they showed us that today. And we really struggled. So I was nervous that they were going to sort of carve us open. But I think we did well to sort of stop it in the second half, and that was when we sort of started to grow into the game.
It was like spells, wasn't it, Sam? Because I think Brighton first 30 minutes of the first half were really, like Dave alluded to there, the way they play out of the press is so beautiful just to watch. Like that little box system that they have from the build-out from the back, and they invite players on and they'll just exploit it with a third man or whatever it is. Like they're fantastic at doing that, and they kept getting in to our half from the back. But yeah, it was just more spells, wasn't it, during that game? Like we had our moment towards the first half as well, and then Brighton had theirs. It was like punch for punch in a sense.
Yeah, we were going at each other, but I don't think in the first half there wasn't many opportunities where it was like, okay, that's a clear, should have definitely bagged that, or there should have been a goal there. I think we're all trying, but lacking final third passes. Finishing was terrible. Like Anthony's finishing was awful. Got into good positions, but his finish was awful. Rashford's finishing was off. There was a shot from Eriksen, wasn't there? That was the cutback, nice little play and really tame effort. It was Casemiro one, I believe. So yeah, finishing was lacking. There was moments of things, but there was nothing like clinical. There was nothing cutting edge like we've normally seen from Brighton, or like we've seen when United are at their best. There was none of that in the game, which was a little sad, and it made it a bit more sort of cagey. Shout out to people in the chat. Chivy's in the chat with Man United. We're going to Wembley. Yes, we are, mate. Elisa, that was a very stressful game. I mean, stressful is a fucking understatement of that. Football 12, hi, how are you, Football 12? And then Chivy, despite everything we've endured in this season, 2 cup finals signifies a little progress. Happy for team and manager. I totally agree, Chivy.
Yeah, let's not pretend that it was all roses and daffodils either, though. That was a proper sluggish performance, wasn't it, Dave? Like we had to really, really dig deep in that game at times. Now Brighton didn't. In the second half, they created some big chances, but there was none where I was like, "That's definitely going in." There was opportunities where Matoma had it, and I was like, "If he made the right decision there, then it's a goal." But it just never. It just felt like I had that feeling, didn't it, for the full 90 minutes that it was going to go extra time.
Yeah, I don't think any teams were going to score. I think that they could have carried on playing full tomorrow, and I don't think anyone would have scored. It just felt like one of those. All the chances, there was no real clear-cut chances for either team, like you said. The one I felt, which was a big one, was like when Bruno was on the right-hand side and cut it across and just went wide of the post. But then it was a tough game, man. It was it just felt like nothing that we could do. Like there was no. It was like that cutting edge. Like Rashford wasn't at his best today, and like that's the kind of game where, like, remember the Newcastle one? It would have been. I reckon the Newcastle one would have been more similar if like we hadn't got that set piece right from Casemiro. I reckon something like that would have needed to happen, but it just didn't today.
Yeah. And people will say, won't they, Sam, at the start of the season, if you would have said, top 4, a Carabao Cup trophy and an FA Cup final as well, like Ten Hag's. In reflection, he's done absolutely unbelievable, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think I said when we did our season preview, I think I said 5th. I think that was like the sort of extent of my hopes for this season. the fact that he's got a trophy already in the bag, and we didn't do it through penalties. We won the game outright, which is nice. We're solidly in the top 4 because Spurs just absolutely bricked it today for some reason. I don't know what happened there. That was a mental game. So it just seems like it's us and Newcastle. It's just 3rd or 4th, and it's just between us and Newcastle where we finish. So top 4 looks like it's pretty much solidified, and we're in another cup final. So I'd say that's a pretty successful season for Ten Hag. Obviously, there's still issues to be had. Our away record for a start is terrible. Our lack of number 9, etc. But they're all stuff that can be addressed in the summer. But as far as the season goes, it's a pretty successful season.
Yeah, I want to dive into the ratings, but obviously we'll do that towards the end. But there's one person in particular, Dave, who I want to shout out, who I thought was fantastic today, unbelievable, and that was, I don't know if you'd agree, but I thought Victor Lindelof was phenomenal today. He's always been, considered as the 3rd choice, and like whenever he's been next to Maguire, it's kind of like people like, oh, they're both, Bill and Ben, they both trip over each other and all this kind of stuff. But considering, I think that's the first time he's played alongside Luke Shaw. Them two today was pretty solid, weren't they?
Yeah, I think it's clear to see who the one who's not very good is. It's night and day. Like, Lindelof was actually quite good against Sevilla, I thought. It's just like all the focus is naturally on Maguire, who's like somehow always seems to draw calamities towards him. I don't know if it's just bad luck or he is just not good. Maybe it's a bit of both. I actually thought you were going to say Bruno. I thought Bruno was amazing today.
Yeah, I thought he was good, and up until he got the injury, and then when he got the injury, I thought he fell off a little bit. But up until that point, he looked like a bright spark. It looked like if anything was going to happen, it had come through him, and he had that bit between his teeth in it, because obviously he didn't play against Sevilla. But I just thought it was so impressive because Brighton were carving loads of chances, but I just thought Luke Shaw playing there at centre back the first time in God knows how long. He's only played there a couple of times in the back 4. Was solid, and Lindelof was as well, so they deserve the credit. But on the flip side, definitely. Sorry, I was going to add something on there.
I was going to say that I saw a couple of videos of like other like channels and stuff tactically previewing the game, and they were talking about how their centre forwards like to drop in and sort of help link up the play a lot, and it was Welbeck doing that today. And the centre backs would have to be aggressive to stop that, and they both were.
Shaw was definitely.
You'd see whenever Welbeck or anyone was dropping in, like Lindelof would go and chase him down, or Shaw would go and chase him down. I think they both did that really well today. Shaw was actually quite good at trying to play between, like, get progressive passes going forward too, in the same way that Lissandro does. Not to the same level, of course, because Lissandro's just stupidly good, but he did really well today, Shaw.
Yeah. I felt like it'd be Shaw. Everyone was discussing Casemiro and who would it be, but I always felt like it would be Shaw, just purely because Ten Hag always talks about balance and having that left footed to open certain passing lanes and stuff. So
Shaw's just a really good footballer as well. Yeah, it's like it's just understated. He's just like a really good footballer.
Yeah, it was just a couple of times where his delivery was a bit suspicious, where I was like, I'm not too sure about that. But look, you can't be overcritical. We're through, aren't we? I suppose. On the other team, Sam. I thought the standout performers from both sides were Casido and McAllister in that midfield. The way they are two of the most press-resistant players I've seen in my life. Like, especially Casido when he's just knocking it around the corner. Them two stood out today, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a reason why we were all clamouring for why the hell we didn't get this guy when we could have got him for $5 million.
Insane, isn't it?
Got him, and you can see the class, and you can see why Arsenal went in. What did they end up going, like 80 million or something like that?
I think it was 70.
Yeah, 70.
It was a lot.
Yeah, and they turned it down, and it just shows you like how important he is to this team and how good he is. The quality he has is phenomenal.
I'm glad they didn't get him. To be honest.
Oh god. Yeah. And they keep doing it. Like, they've got Casido, they've got Mitoma, who I thought had a less of a game for him. I thought he would have had more impact. I think Wan-Bissaka shut him down for most of the game. I thought he was not as effective as he normally is. You got that Encino, who's another gem they found and picked up. He looked really good. He looked dangerous. And then forced
a great save from De Gea, didn't he?
Exactly. McAllister, solid as always. The guy is clearly class. He's indicated he wants to leave this summer, and he says it's probably his last season at Brighton, so it'd be interesting to see where he goes. We've been linked with him, of course. I think he was solid today, really, really good, and fantastic penalty. He was the first penalty taker. Absolute stroke that penalty in. So
well, in fact, we'll discuss the penalties now, because it's not as if we've got any goals to discuss. There was chances, obviously, that we've we've kind of touched on already. You had the Bruno Fernandes chance. You had I can't remember you just mentioned him then, the Colombian. Is it Espino or
Encino?
Encino, that's it. Yeah. He had a good opportunity, a couple more either side, but it just felt it dragged on and dragged on. Extra time, I'm sat there like, swear to God, if we go out now and this is towards the last minute, I'm just like, this is fucking, it's going to lose me shit. The penalties kick commenced, Dave. The rain starts pouring. How was your heart and your brain? What were they telling you?
Oh, I was laid down on the couch, like looking at it with one eye, hid behind the pillow. God, that was awful. It was one of them. I knew that someone would have to miss because I just felt like De Gea doesn't save penalties from shootouts. He can save them in a game every now and then, but like from shootouts, he's never saved one. It's ridiculous. There's so many of them. Like I felt like it was savable if he'd have gone the right way, but he doesn't seem to go the right way. It was annoying, but we got through it, and that's it. That's all you can say. On to the next game.
For me, Sam, it was a bit annoying with David De Gea, like Dave says there, that I felt like there was patterns where he kept going to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And the Brighton, they tee it up as if he was going to go for a bit of like a bit of a power shot, and then they just place it in the right-hand side. And that happened about 3 times, I think, in that shootout. Obviously, you can't be overcritical because we're through, but it was something worrying, wasn't it, at the time whilst we was watching the penalties.
I think, how many shootouts have we had with De Gea? Is it 4, I think? And we've lost every single one of them. So we know he's not great at him. We know he's not a penalty shootout guy. Like Dave said, he seems to save them when they've got one in the game. He's a great shot stopper, but just when it comes to shootouts, doesn't seem to have it. And I was the same with Dave. I said to my girlfriend, I was like, someone's going to have to miss. That's the only way this one ends, because it just seems like every penalty was going top bins and people were scoring the goalkeepers. I think the only one the goalkeeper got near was the Sanchez with Sabitzer one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got a hand to it, but Sabitzer
that was so close.
Put his foot through the penalty.
So like every other penalty was top, like really good penalty. So I thought someone's gonna have to miss. And yeah, poor Solly March, man. One of their sort of better players was involved in everything in the game, and just pressure got to him, didn't it? And skied it.
I thought he was absolutely nailed on to score, by the way. I thought the one that had missed would be the striker that they brought on, because he looked like relatively nervous before hitting it. And
I was thinking that.
Yeah, and he buried it. And then when who was it who stepped up for us? And I was like, oh God, no. Weghorst, I think it was. I was like, it's written in the stars. I just thought he's gonna. I know he's a striker, but I just thought, it's gonna go over us something. But luckily, we get through. We've won 7-6 on penalties, and it doesn't matter. Nobody looks back about how you performed. It matters if you win, and we've won today, and we're through to the final. Speaking of the final, lads, Manchester City.
Oh, do we have to look at that now? Can we enjoy this and then just think?
We can
about
enjoy
that?
it. Well, I don't know if enjoy is the correct word either, because my chest is just like.
Yeah.
But yeah, City in the final, it's a tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, at least we have a say in whether they win a treble or not.
Oh yeah, I suppose. If you're gonna put any kind of shades of positivity
in our hands.
Yeah.
Granted, it could mean nothing. Like Madrid could beat them in the Champions League. Arsenal could beat them at the Etihad. Like it could just not happen. But like, it's one of them. Like at least we have a say. Imagine if City don't win anything this year. That'd be funny.
That'd be unreal if that happens.
Would be funny.
Yeah, and this last part of the season now, Sam, you got City obviously playing Arsenal on Wednesday. Us in the FA Cup final, and Madrid in the Champions League. Surely one of us has got to put a spear through the heart, right?
I think Ten Hag against Pep, United against City, one-off games. I think we're well capable of beating them. I think because we've done it once. I think we're capable of beating them. Finals a different matter. City just have this method. We used to have it like under Fergie. We had this thing where we get to a final and you just 90% of the time we're going through and we're winning. We just knew how to get through, and then we've sort of lost that over the years. Whereas City have now developed that mentality. Whereas Arsenal, they had that slip up against Southampton. It shows that they're not the sort of team who's used to winning titles, who's used to winning trophy after trophy after trophy. City are, and they're in that mode right now. They just look absolutely unstoppable. But a one-off game, United and City, it's never 100% either way. It's always on the line between the two. So you never know. Like the game could go in our favor. Like Dave said, could stop them winning a treble. In my head says though, maybe getting dicked here. We might be getting smashed.
Well, I don't want to go down that route at a minute. I want to, like you said, let's try and enjoy this. I appreciate your concerns because I look at the chances Brighton created today, and if Haaland's on the end of them or Kevin De Bruyne is on the end of them, they're putting them away straight up. There was a lot of opportunities when he got into the final third, and if he had a decisive figure up top, or maybe, Matoma had a good day, I think they win that game and probably win it by a couple of goals.
I think now going forward, our centre-back pairing has to be Lindelof and Shaw.
Has to be. You can't play Maguire. After that, you can't play Maguire. I don't care what he says. I don't say the captain. He's done well for the team. I don't care if it's a political answers in the press conference. I don't care. You have to play Luke Shaw and Lindelof after that performance for me.
Lissandro's out, and then Varane's out now for 6 weeks.
I think they're both. Yeah, I think they're both.
So they're done for the
season.
They're done for the season. So you have to go Lindelof and Shaw now. You have to.
Yeah.
That's just how it has to go.
Yeah, they showed today, didn't they? Do you have concerns ahead of the City final, Dave?
Yeah, you'd have concerns over any cup final, really, wouldn't you? Because that it's just going to be probably a not amazing game of football. They rarely are. You just have to hope that we can do something like what we did against them at Old Trafford, or like what we did to Newcastle. Just see if you can get a set piece, see if you can do what you can to stop Haaland, maybe stick Fred on De Bruyne again. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. It works in finals, that kind of stuff. Trying to keep the ball and stuff. It works for a league season, but as Madrid have shown, being able to play without the ball sometimes and just focus on your individual players can win you finals because they've just got loads of individually brilliant players. So we've got Bruno and Rashford, and those two can just create something out of nothing. And sometimes that's all you need. Even though they have De Bruyne and Haaland, sure they can do it too, but we can do it as well. They should be as scared of us as we should be of them.
Well, I was just about to mention that then. The two players, they were literally two players, Bruno and Rashford, in counter-attacking football, as deadly as anyone when they're on the day, when they want to. And I think a matchup against City will be very tough, but I think it'll be fascinating to see how it develops. Because we already beat them at Old Trafford. Yes, they slapped us at the Etihad, but we beat them. We've proven it. We've beaten them. Maybe we have a couple of players back, maybe a Garnacho, maybe Lindelof and Shaw played a few more games. Shaw's already kept Haaland quiet. So why not do it again?
Can we shout out Wan-Bissaka as well? I thought he had a great game. And I don't know why he was taken off, because I thought he was one of our better players.
He might just be knackered.
Maybe, yeah. But I thought he was fantastic. I thought he played really, really well. Got forward, got some great defending, kept Matoma quiet for most of the time.
Yeah.
A couple of moments where it happened, but I thought Wan-Bissaka was fantastic. Couple of chats that it's going mental. George Thomason, the shootout took years off my life. Big game in the final. Yeah. I agree, George. Also confident I've been in a long time in this final. Yeah, I'm the same. Adam, Varane possibly could be back. Nah, I think he's done for the season, Adam. And he completely locked down Matoma, Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. That block, by the way, from Wan-Bissaka as well on Matoma at the edge of the box, and then threw himself at it again. Yeah. Fantastic. Really dealt with him well. And we've seen that against St. Maximum as well in the final. He locks down players. He's really good at it. And he had a run as well. I don't know if you remember it. Skinned 3 or 4 players. And whoa, what's going on here? Got to the byline, and then I think he went out. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka's been fantastic, and he's it's a weird one going into the summer with him in it to see what happens. But yeah, just the final question.
We're all sort of convinced that we're going to get a right back, and that the links are, Frimpong, which I think it will be extremely useful for someone like Kante, just to have someone constantly bombing in front of him. But it's just you can't have 3 right backs. So what do you do?
No. Yeah. I think judging from the history, judging from comments on Dalot and stuff like that, I think he really likes Dalot, and I think he'll probably just take money if he's going to be, air quotes, what he said, ruthless in the summer.
There was that rumour, or somebody wrote, it might have been The Athletic actually, so not a rumour, there's probably some fact to it, that United want to change the way they sell, but they want to sell players who are in form or that could get money for. Yeah. And I think Wan-Bissaka fits into that category, doesn't he? He's played really well, has looked fantastic on the 10 nag system, so you could get a nice chunk of change for him. You probably won't get the 50 that we paid for him, but you'd get a decent amount of money for him.
You get more than you would 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. He's still at a good age profile as well. I think he's only, 23 or something. So I think there'd be teams queuing up for him, watching him perform. I think a lot of people like Wan-Bissaka in the team. Just one more question before we get into the ratings. What will both managers take from this, do you think? What will Deserve when he analyses that game, when he gets on, whatever? When Ten Hag gets on, what positives will he take out of it, and what negatives will he take out of it?
I think De Zerbi would probably just tell all these players, like, you probably got nothing to be like ashamed of. You played really well today, and on another day they could have easily won. And I think Ten Hag will probably be disappointed that they didn't get it done in 90 minutes. But I think Brighton played like so well. Like it's really difficult for the thing to be mad at them. It comes down to penalties and it's a coin flip. You know what I mean? It's really tough to get mad at your players in that situation.
Yeah, maybe I'll give Solly March a little slap on the back of the head. Bastard, you ruined it for us. Yeah, Sam, what about yourself? What positives are you taking out of this game, if any, and what negatives?
I think for De Zerbi, I think like Dave said, I don't think they could be too upset. I think played well, had their opportunities to win the game for sure. David De Gea, a couple of good saves, kept them out, and some great defending.
Sanchez did some great saves as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
so,
from Rashford.
Ten Hag, I think, probably said to United, look, you should have got that game done in 90 minutes. We had our opportunities. Our finishing let us down. I think better finishing.
Yeah.
We put that game to bed. He's probably a bit annoyed that it's gone to penalties and extra time. So then he's got more tired players going into the game against Spurs on Thursday. But the way Spurs played on Sunday, today, I mean, it doesn't worry you too much. I mean, it might be famous last words, but yeah.
I was about to say, I feel like you might get a reaction out of him. That's what I'm worried about.
Maybe. But it on any other, like Dave said, any other day Brighton could have won that, but it went to penalties, and penalties are a lottery. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's it, and we're through. Luckily, let's go into the ratings then. We'll start off as always with David De Gea. Made some unbelievable saves. He was nervous at times in his distribution, but it's the same thing every week. Makes fantastic saves, but you could see they didn't want to play out from the back today. He just booting it every single time he got it. And it's frustrating because Brighton won pretty much every single one of the aerial duels. So when we boot it out, you just knew they was going to retain possession, and then it'd be another wave of attack, which was frustrating. But ultimately, he made 3-4 potentially really good saves, which kept us in it. So how do we mark David De Gea's performance from A to F?
I think I'd go above average, so C plus B minus, because of the saves he made.
Yeah,
he kept us in the game. But I think it's got to the point now with David De Gea. I want to see him move on, because every other part of his game annoys the fuck out of me, and it's not good enough. But his shot stopping is absolutely phenomenal and saves us points. So I'd go C plus B minus. I'm open to either of them.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Would you
I
agree? Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I think the saves, I'd put B minus just because I think the saves were really, really good. And you know what you get with his distribution. And I'm being nice because we're through. If we would have lost, then it might have been a different thing. But
yeah,
I'll go B minus. Get involved in the comment section. We've got 10 people in the chat. Let us know the ratings as we go through them and why you've gone for that rating for that in particular player. Wan-Bissaka has to get B plus, right? B plus.
At least, I'd say. If De Gea's a B minus, you're looking at maybe B plus, potentially even A minus, because I think Wan-Bissaka was really. You can't really fault what he did today, can you?
Quite literally faultless. That's what was the next word that was going to be used to describe. Sam, you were singing his praises before.
Yeah, I think B plus. He was ridiculously good in attack and defense. Shut Matoma down for the most part. Skinned about 3 or 4 players. I think he was really, really good. Can't fault him at all. Like Dave said, I'm hoping it was just tiredness they took him off, because I thought he deserved to stay on. But I'll read out some comments anyway, because there's a couple of comments.
Yeah, go for it.
Shah Sam, who's a Real Reds Ultra, if you would like to join the Real Reds Ultra crew, please do. It's next to the join button and the like button. You don't get free content, but you get exclusive content, exclusive news, exclusive other stuff, and you get a chance to be on the show. So please do check that out. Shah Sam.
You pay for the badge, but the content's free.
There you go. Dave's got it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dave's got it. Wonder how he could have developed if he had a good coach like Ten Hag when he signed for us. I think that's in reference to Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, good point. Finals on the June the 2nd. I'm flying out to Manchester on June the 1st. It's going to be mental in the airport that day. That's Adam. Notice with it, Trey, and play a lot out from the back. We went long a lot. Yeah, Nick just mentioned that. Best Spurs, I think that's top 4 wrapped up. Yeah, I agree. He was nowhere near any of the penalties. He looked like a piece of paper. Is that in reference to De Gea?
Probably.
Yeah, definitely a reference.
Kept a clean sheet with Yeah, kept a clean sheet with no Maguire. Absolute shock that. And then Brandon has put, I made some little emojis for the Real Reds Ultras of Nick doing this, and he's put a couple of them in. So,
oh shit, I've only just noticed that.
Yeah. So yeah, if you join Real Reds
hilarious.
Ultra, you get to put little Nick things in there. So.
Right, let's carry on with the ratings then. Victor Lindelof, who I say he's my man of the match for today, I think, scored the winning penalty. Was solid all game, dealt with a lot of issues that we had. Good in his ground battles, great at reading the game. Had a fantastic couple of tackles on Danny Welbeck as well. So he would be my man of the match. I'd go with an A for Victor Lindelof. I thought it was fantastic.
I think that's fair. Like we talked about him before. I think he did a really good job today.
Yeah. Agreed, Sam?
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. Scored the winning penalty. He showed great nerve, and then I just think he deserves to be man of the match. I thought he was again faultless. I thought our whole defensive line, to be honest, was really, really good.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I think as a collective, it was relatively good. There was a couple moments where you're like, nah, but in general, I thought it was good. Let us know your man of the match, guys, in the comments, please. If you agree with Victor Lindelof or you would go for someone else. What about Dalot? I don't know what to give Dalot because I can't really remember him.
I think Dalot quietly had a good game as well. Everyone's gonna praise him.
It was quiet though, wasn't it?
Marauding run, but like I think he dealt with the right winger really well. He blocked blocked a lot of the crosses from coming in. Like, did some decent link-up play when he could. It's sort of, we still struggle to play up in the back because our midfielders treat the ball like a hand grenade. But like, he does his best.
Yeah,
I think it's like unfair to give him like. I think he was better than like average as well. So I'm gonna say
C plus, B minus,
solid B.
B. You going with a B? Sam?
Yeah, I'll go with that. I thought he was decent. Did what he needed to do. Didn't really any fault or anything like that. Just wasn't at the same level as sort of a Lindelof or Wan-Bissaka, but yeah, decent.
Yeah. Moving on to the midfield, Hand Grenade FC. Casemiro, it was a bit better. It wasn't a severe performance, put it that way. He was more decisive, better in the 50-50s, was great on the ball. Nearly got a fantastic assist for Rashford, by the way, in behind, which Rashford just missed. Did he get pulled down? And then they give the foul to Brighton. And you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Do you remember that? Veltman pulled him down.
Yeah. He was pulling Veltman, and as Veltman fell, he took Rashford's legs out. So I think it was a bit of both, to be honest.
Just confused me that. But yeah, Casemiro, lads, what do we think? What do we think? Weird one, isn't it? I'd say C+. I don't know if I'm being harsh.
Like that,
yeah, for his standards, C+. He wasn't at his scintillating best. Again, stupid tackles that he doesn't need to make. Like, there was that tackle where he got the yellow. I don't know. Why are you making that? You don't need to do that. There's no need for it. So, yeah, C+.
Do we agree in the chat? Casemiro, C+. Please let us know. C for Casemiro. He's not been great since he's come back from suspension, has he?
No. And it's hard to criticise him because he's been so good since he signed. But I always notice it when he comes back from an injury or something, he always seems a bit slow to get, like, even when he first signed, when McTominay was keeping him out of the team, he seems a bit slow to get into the swing of things. But when he plays a consistent run, then he's fine. But he just needs to stop these silly suspensions and yellow cards. I don't know where they're coming from because he wasn't like that for Madrid. He literally rarely got booked for Madrid. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the pace of the league, which makes him slip up a couple of times, something along the lines of that.
Yeah, maybe.
Bruno Fernandes, Dave, he was raving about him slightly. Seemed really, really good. Obviously, prior to the injury as well. But what would you give him for today overall?
Well, first half, he was pretty much the best player in the pitch. He was like, along with Caicedo, yeah. So in the second half, he dropped off a bit, but like he was kind of shifted around to make room for subs and stuff.
Yep.
But overall, I think something like a B+. I think he had a pretty good game.
Yeah. Sam?
It looked like if anyone was going to score for us, it was him.
Yeah, I'll go with B+. He looked really effective, looked on it, looked like he was refreshed and ready because he obviously missed the Sevilla game through suspension. I thought, yeah, he looked like the most obvious scorer. Didn't happen, unfortunately. And I was a bit worried when we went to penalties with not having him on the pitch because obviously he's our best penalty taker. So that was a bit worrying, but we got through it without him. So, yeah. I thought he's B+. I'll go with that. A couple of comments. Everybody's going mad with the little Nick thing now. Everybody's loving it. Shah Sam, Brandon, Adam saying I might have to sign up just to get the little Nick. Yeah, you will have to, Adam.
Can we stop calling it the Little Nick, please? Because it just sounds like a weird nickname.
That's what it is now. Lindelof is a good defender, most importantly consistent. It's just a shame he's always been beside Maguire for the most part. Yeah, I agree. And Shah-Sam saying Wan-Bissaka for his man of match took care of the Brighton's main threat. So.
Yeah, he was definitely in the conversation for me. I just thought, I don't know, Lindelof was outstanding today. I feel like we give a lot of players quite high ratings. Just looking back at him now, I don't think the performance was amazing, but the ratings that they've got.
Wait till we get to the attack.
Yeah, I suppose. The next one I wanted to discuss, was Christian Eriksen. He's pissed me off the past couple of games. Really, really annoyed me. Doesn't track his man at all. A chance at the end of the first half where he just completely scuffed was frustrating. And he just needs to do better. You know what you get from him in possession is fantastic. He creates chances. He unlocks Bruno Fernandes. But he just doesn't give you very much off the ball. I really don't like it when teams have these transitions and they have moments. He is sluggish to get back. Really, really sluggish. And I didn't think he was great today at all. So I'd give him a C- probably.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I was kind of surprised to see Fred not starting. Like it's been weird. There's been a lack of Fred. I didn't think we'd be saying this again like 12 months ago. Like why are we not playing Fred? Yeah, like again, like I mentioned, like the game against City, Fred played like instead of I think Eriksen was fit at that time, and we still played Fred. Or I can't remember, but whatever. Against Spurs earlier on in the season at home, where Fred was playing instead of Eriksen. This felt like one of those games where it would make sense.
Yeah,
but
just that midfield with Casido and McAllister in it, Dave. That's the thing. Like, you want to shut them down.
You want to stop them. Like you don't want to stop them from getting the ball necessarily because you're just not going to do that. It's pointless.
Yeah,
you just want to stop them from being able to have as much time as they want on the ball. And I think some Fred is the guy to do that. Fred and Bruno are the guys to just do that. It was surprising not to see Fred earlier, but Eriksen was poor. C-.
Yeah, we highlighted
maybe even a D.
Maybe, yeah. I might even agree with that. We highlighted this, didn't we, Sam, after the City game, when he was like just the constant transitions and counter attacks and counter pressing situations where he's just like it looks like he's wandering back, and you're like you need. Sancho did the same thing against Sevilla as well. Like the reason why Erik ten Hag likes Antony so much and these kind of players is because of the aggression off the ball as well. They're tenacious, they're intense, and Christian Eriksen just lacks that for me.
Yeah, he was just he doesn't track back, and then when he does get involved defensively, he gets so easily pushed off the ball, lacks any sort of physical presence, doesn't go in for tackles or anything like that. The one good thing he had in the game is that the ball over the top to Rashford, and then cut it back to him, but then he had a shit shot, just like totally scuffed it into the thing. So I'd go with D+. I thought he was one of our worst players. I thought he's really, really bad, and he's been that way. The first game he came back when it's a bit spilled out. Forest, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Absolutely amazing. Since then, Sevilla in this game, he's been really poor. I don't know what's happened. I really don't know what's happened.
He's been bad. I'm surprised because he's been so good all season. And he comes back from his injury. You look at Forest, you're like, shit, we have missed him so much. And then it's like, straight down. So it's
the games like Forest where Eriksen's great because we won't get pressed as heavily.
Yeah, that's it.
And he has time to sort of pick his passes. It's similar with Casemiro, right? Like any game where we're just going to get pressed out of the back, they're not great, and it starts to show. And especially when the other team's going to have a lot of the ball and we have to defend, those aren't the games for Eriksen. You can tell he's not a number 8 by trade anyway.
Eriksen's kryptonite's like fucking is Casido and McAllister. I couldn't even tell you Nottingham Forest midfield. That's how that's the difference because Eriksen had a field day against them. Moving on to
that's a Champions League level midfield that comfortable.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can see why Arsenal and Chelsea wanted Casido, can't you? And other teams like Liverpool
very
and
surprised
ourselves.
If they're both still at Brighton next season.
I don't think they will be.
I think McAllister goes in the summer. And then they're going to have a fight to keep Casido because he wanted to go in January. And then they sent him away.
McAllister's definitely off.
Yeah, and then they sent Casido away, didn't they, for the training ground until after the transfer window finished in Jan because his head wasn't there. So they'll have a fight to keep him as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal or someone came back in for him. So
he signed a new deal, didn't he?
Shortly after that. Pricey.
Very, very, very pricey. That guy's changed his dream club about 3 times. He said he really wanted to go Arsenal. He said he was a United fan, and now he's seen things coming out about Real Madrid, saying that he loves there and he'd love to play there. It's like, come on, mate.
Good luck getting in the Real Madrid midfield, mate.
Fucking hell.
Ain't getting in there.
Yeah, tough ask. Right, onto the attack. Anthony, very average for me today after picking him up over a couple of weeks where I thought, he's improving. He's starting to do things that we want. I thought his decision-making at times, there was one situation in particular where Bruno overlaps him on the right-hand side. He just needs to feed it in and Bruno could square it across. And I'm just like, why make that decision there? 2 of his shots I had a look at and I was like, mate, you could throw a 3-year-old toddler in there and he would have been able to pick that up. Like, abysmal quality in the final third. Average game for me, C.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There was a couple of times where I was just like, his decision... It's a thing Anthony has, his decision-making. He always seems to do the wrong thing. It always seems to pick the wrong... Like, there's a square, like, just a square pass for someone for a tap-in. He'll try and shoot. If it's clear that he should take the shot on, he tries to pass it to somebody. He always seems to make the wrong decision. Obviously, he makes up for it in other matters. He's backtracking, his work off the ball, his defensiveness, all that, which is all good. He just needs to work on his decision-making and his finishing. If he can get that down and change that up, I think he'd be very, very dangerous. We saw it against Forest, how dangerous the guy is. Deadly. If he could just nail that down, I think he could be really, really good. But yeah, C, just really average.
Yeah, I'd like him maybe the plus because I think he did a really good job, like defensive-wise. Like, and you can see why, Ten Hag will start in basically every single game, and he did a good job of sort of getting us further up the field. But yeah, it was just that fact he wasn't on it in the final third today, unfortunately.
There is worrying signs in the attack for me because I'm going to bracket these 2 guys together, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or if you disagree or whatever. But I think Martial and Rashford today were quiet as fuck. I just didn't get anything from him at all. Rashford came to life slightly a bit more in maybe the second half or extra time when there was space to exploit. But apart from that, them 2 in the game, I said before the game, I was like, the reason why we'll win this game is because we've got Anthony, Martial, and Rashford. And if they turn up today together, we'll win it. We have, because of the quality that they possess. But them 2, I'd throw both in the exact same category, Martial and Rashford. Underwhelming, average, and ghosted for most of the game.
Yeah, I agree. The 3 of them just didn't really turn up properly, and it was a shame. Like Rashford was struggling to sort of beat his man. Usually he has like a good time against Brighton, but he just seemed a bit off. I'm still not 100% convinced he's fully fit after he pulled his groin. Something just doesn't seem quite right. But hopefully he's okay. He did seem to get better as the game went on, which would sort of go against that theory, but I don't know.
Yeah. We've got Hani Ascari in the chat saying, has David De Gea redeemed himself by keeping a clean sheet and performing good in the penalties? In the penalties? He didn't save one.
I was going to say, he didn't do shit.
No, he went the wrong way every time, if anything. He was like trying to avoid the ball. I mean, he was fantastic. We give him a B-, so yeah, we give him a good rating for today. Are we just agreeing Anthony, Rashford and Martial a C?
I'd give Anthony a C. I'd give Martial and Rashford a D+, because I thought they were way below what they should be. Martial, I don't even remember him. Did he get a shot on goal?
Nothing.
Did he get?
Did absolutely nothing.
Just
no, I don't think he did.
Frustrating.
Did we rate Bruno, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, B+.
You did, I feel like. Fair play.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Rashford, yeah, like Dave said, couldn't beat his man. He seemed off. I don't know. Is he still not fit 100%? Like, he must not be 100%.
I got that feeling.
It's just.
It did have that vibe, didn't it?
Yeah, it just doesn't
Both
seem
of
right.
them.
And then Martial, I'm glad Chivy's in France skiing because I'm done with that guy. I'm so done with him. Really done with him.
He's a polarizing figure. A few of them are in the attack, to be honest. Anthony's, you get love, you get hate. Martial comes back, you're like, oh, we missed him, we've not got Vegas. And Rashford's been such a saviour this season. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. So it's something to think about anyway for the next couple of weeks. Who have we got next, by the way?
Spurs, Thursday.
Oh, is that Thursday?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a weird thing, isn't it? Spurs Day. Nice, I like it. What about the weekend as well? Have we got anyone on the weekend?
No, it's Villa, isn't it?
Villa.
Yeah.
Villa 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so two Champions League winning games there, potentially. If you beat them 2, you could pretty much solidify your top 4 spot, can't you? Yeah, interesting. We'll have the preview for that on Wednesday. We'll have the Premier League roundup tomorrow. So many interesting things that have gone on over the weekend. Can't wait to discuss that on tomorrow's show. We'll have the breaking news show on Tuesday. So yeah, as always, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and follow us on social media. Real Red Stalk, all the handles are on the right-hand side of the screen. Lads, do you have any final words before we head off?
Yeah, my friend and Dave's friend, Dan, will be on for the preview for Spurs on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have an actual Spurs fan. God knows how he's feeling. After today, because
it's like a box of Kleenex.
Yes.
Well, we say that, but we got beat 7-0 by Liverpool, so I'm pretty sure we know how we feel.
Well, yeah, good point.
Sympathise.
So yeah, he'll be on Wednesday, so check that out. Yeah, been really good, the interactions I've seen on social media with you today, Nick, so let's keep it coming. Hopefully people have found their way over from TikTok to YouTube. So
yeah, absolutely. Any final words yourself, Dave? City in the final, do we smash them?
Yeah, fuck it, 3-0.
Yeah, let's just leave it on a positive, shall we? And we'll leave that discussion for another day with City. Yeah, right, lads. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.